The first time I did it, like 10 years ago, the sort of press, particularly the industry press in America, was like, why is he saying these awful things to the most beautiful people? You know? And then by the 5th time, right, they were going, good, give it to him, we're sick of celebrities.
There's a claim circulating right now that the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the Post's, Hollywood's most prolific cannibal, that she consumed human flesh.
Guess what? Pizza's here. Hello. Come on down. I lied. We weren't going backstage.
Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
There are some moments in Hollywood that people laugh at when they happen. And then, years later, they go back, re-watch the footage, and suddenly the laughter disappears. One man stood on a stage in front of the richest and most powerful celebrities in the world and openly mocked the culture of Hollywood directly to their faces. Not behind closed doors, not anonymously, not through leaks. Live on national television. And what made the moment unforgettable wasn't even the jokes. It was the reaction, the silence, the nervous smiles, the uncomfortable camera cuts, the celebrities staring down at their tables pretending not to react. Because for one brief moment, the carefully controlled image of Hollywood cracked, and millions of people watching from home noticed it. Then came the Epstein scandal, and suddenly those old speeches started spreading across the internet again. Clip after clip, reaction after reaction, headline after headline. People began asking the same question: was Ricky Gervais just joking? Or was Hollywood terrified of what he represented? Tonight we're diving into the speeches that shook celebrity culture, the internet obsession that followed, and why audiences still can't stop talking about those Golden Globes moments years later.
Hollywood handing that person, here you go, you can do whatever you want. No, it doesn't work that. In the industry, we've come to a very, very dark place.
And not only are we not furious, most of us, we don't care, we wouldn't have even known about it if you hadn't have found it and printed it and told us we're furious. So it's just this vicious cycle. But no, I don't care. And likewise, I know people are allowed to be offended by things I've said. That's up to them. That's the good thing about freedom of speech. I can say what I want. You can say you're offended. I can care or not.
For decades, Hollywood operated like a perfectly managed illusion. Movie stars weren't just actors anymore. They became brands. Entire teams worked behind the scenes to control public image. Publicists, managers, agents, media executives, PR consultants. Every appearance was calculated, every interview rehearsed, every scandal carefully contained. The audience saw glamour, luxury, red carpets, award shows, standing ovations. But behind the scenes, Hollywood was always about something much bigger: power, influence, connections, access. Who gets cast? Who gets canceled? Who gets protected? Who disappears? That system existed for decades because most people never questioned it, until the internet changed everything. Because once social media exploded, audiences no longer relied only on entertainment media to shape narratives. People started comparing interviews, digging through old clips, re-watching award shows, looking for contradictions. And eventually, Hollywood's carefully polished image started falling apart.
I didn't go out there and break the law. It wasn't mental. Everything was justified. I researched those jokes. I made sure it was fair. I wouldn't say anything to go, well, that's not fair. He didn't do that. I'd go, only tell the truth. I didn't out anyone. I didn't do anything it was not in public. I didn't do anything that was something they couldn't help. It was about their behaviors.
Yes.
Then came Ricky Gervais, a comedian who didn't behave like someone desperate to stay inside Hollywood's social circle. That made him dangerous. Because most hosts at award shows follow the same unwritten rule: make the celebrities laugh. Don't push too far. Don't embarrass the industry. Keep the sponsors happy. Ricky ignored all of it. Every time he hosted the Golden Globes, he pushed harder. At first, Hollywood treated it like edgy comedy. He mocked actors, streaming platforms, political hypocrisy, corporate greed, celebrity activism. Audiences loved it because it felt real. For once, someone on stage wasn't pretending celebrities were untouchable. Then came the jokes that changed the atmosphere completely.
I was asking about the movie, and I asked him about that one particular part where everybody's talking, and they all cried out Epstein Island. And I went, oh, okay. Now I understand what we're up against.
Wow.
Epstein Island isn't the only thing.
From Rupert Murdoch, from Fox, to every studio. Look, if you touch this thing, you will be out, you will be done. You'll be finished in 3 years.
By 2020, Jeffrey Epstein had already become one of the biggest scandals in modern history. The case shocked the world, not just because of Epstein himself, but because of the elite social circles connected to him. Politicians, business executives, royalty, celebrities, media, figures. The public became obsessed with one question: who knew him? That question created a level of paranoia Hollywood had never experienced before. Then, Ricky Gervais stepped onto the Golden Globes stage, and during his monologue, he referenced Epstein. The audience reaction immediately became internet history because the room stopped feeling relaxed. People shifted in their seats. Some laughed nervously. Others looked genuinely uncomfortable. And online viewers instantly noticed it. Within hours, clips flooded social media. Millions of comments appeared saying the exact same thing. Why did everybody suddenly look terrified? That reaction became bigger than the joke itself.
Ellen DeGeneres feeling the heat as more employees, past and present, from her show say that they were working in a toxic environment. Some Hollywood actors also speaking out against the talk show host now.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Truth is, I am that person that you see on TV. I am also a lot of other things. Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient, and I am working on all of that.
The reason Ricky's speeches exploded online wasn't because audiences believed he was secretly exposing crimes. It was because people were already losing trust in celebrity culture. The Epstein scandal damaged public confidence in institutions everywhere. Politics, media, entertainment, wealth, power. People started believing that elite circles protected each other.
Ellen was far from nice. We're out there for years. What was your reaction to the toxic workplace controversy?
I felt that it was in the hands of the people who needed to speak their truth. I hadn't spoken to Ellen in years, and I feel that the stories that need to be listened to are being told.
Did the stuff about her being emotionally abusive to her staff ring true to you?
Emotionally abusive is a container for our actions that we've not healed. And unfortunately, the abusive environment was something that I understood.
After Epstein's arrest and death, the internet entered a phase of non-stop speculation. Every celebrity connection became a headline. Photos, old interviews, flight logs, party appearances, contact books, archived footage. Everything became evidence in the court of public opinion. But here's where things became dangerous. The internet stopped separating verified facts from rumors. Simply appearing in public records connected to Epstein did not automatically mean criminal involvement. Many names appeared because Epstein spent years surrounding himself with powerful and famous people. Some people had direct social relationships with him. Some barely knew him. Some met him once. Some publicly cut ties long before his arrest. But online speculation rarely cares about nuance. Once a person's name enters the conversation, the internet builds entire narratives around it. And in the age of viral content, shocking accusations spread faster than corrections ever can.
You cannot handle. I'm a firm believer in that. There was a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed.
That's the deeper reason these stories continue dominating online culture. People no longer fully trust celebrity image management. For years, audiences watched public figures present themselves as morally perfect. Then scandals kept exposing how carefully manufactured those images often were. Harvey Weinstein became one of the biggest examples. For decades, Weinstein was treated like untouchable royalty inside Hollywood. Actors praised him publicly. Award shows celebrated him. The industry protected him. Then the truth exploded into public view. And suddenly audiences started wondering, how many people knew? That question changed entertainment forever. Because once audiences realize powerful industries can hide abusive behavior for years, trust collapses. That collapse created the environment where Ricky Gervais became so popular. He represented disruption. Someone willing to embarrass Hollywood publicly instead of worshiping it.
Be hungry. I just feel like everybody's got to be hungry right now. Good. I was hoping you'd say that because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza. And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Yes? Mark? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do.
Go back and watch the speeches carefully. Not just Ricky. Watch the audience. The producers, the actors, the executives. The camera operators constantly searched for reactions. Some celebrities laughed. Some looked annoyed. Some tried not to react at all. And that visual tension became meme material across the internet. Because audiences are used to celebrities controlling every public moment. But live television is unpredictable. You can't fully rehearse genuine reactions. That's why those clips still circulate years later. People don't just remember the jokes, they remember the discomfort.
I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires? And it was a no-brainer. I was doing it for...
After the Epstein scandal exploded, YouTube and social media became flooded with conspiracy content. Some creators treated every celebrity interaction like evidence of hidden crimes. Others built entire channels around decoding Hollywood symbolism, old interviews, and award show moments. That environment created a massive audience for dramatic, investigative-style videos. And Ricky Gervais clips became central to that ecosystem, because his speeches already looked confrontational. When paired with ominous music, slow zooms, reaction shots, and dramatic narration, the footage felt almost cinematic. Suddenly, people were treating comedy monologues like political exposés. And the more emotional the editing became, the more viral the video spread. The power of public image. Hollywood has always depended on image. That's why reputation matters so much. One scandal can destroy a career. One viral moment can redefine public perception forever. And once audiences start questioning authenticity, every interview begins looking different. Every smile feels rehearsed. Every public appearance feels strategic. That suspicion now dominates celebrity culture online. People don't just watch celebrities anymore. They investigate them. That shift changed entertainment permanently.
There's another reason this type of content spreads so aggressively online. People love narratives where powerful institutions appear vulnerable. The idea that Hollywood elites could be publicly embarrassed by one comedian is incredibly satisfying to audiences who already distrust celebrity culture. it feels rebellious, especially during a time when many people believe ordinary voices are ignored while wealthy figures avoid accountability. That emotional reaction is what drives millions of clicks. Not necessarily evidence, not necessarily facts. Emotion, suspicion, tension, drama. That's the formula. Now, this part is important. There is a huge difference between verified reporting and internet speculation. Being photographed with someone, attending the same event, appearing in public records, being mentioned in social circles, none of that automatically proves criminal behavior. And over the years, countless online claims about celebrities connected to Epstein have turned out to be exaggerated, misleading, or completely false. That distinction matters, because the internet often rewards the most shocking version of a story, not the most accurate one. Still, the reason audiences continue watching this content isn't always because they believe every accusation. It's because people sense something larger, a disconnect between how Hollywood presents itself and how the industry actually operates behind closed doors.
At the center of all this sits Ricky Gervais. Not because he exposed hidden crimes, not because he released evidence, not because he claimed secret insider knowledge, but because he publicly mocked elite celebrity culture during a moment when public trust was collapsing. That timing mattered. If those same speeches happened 10 years earlier, audiences probably would have treated them as edgy comedy and moved on. But after Epstein, after Weinstein, after years of scandals, people interpreted those jokes differently. They started seeing Ricky less like a comedian and more like someone saying what audiences were already thinking. That's why those clips refuse to disappear. Maybe the most fascinating part of all this is how one awards show monologue became cultural history. Not because of the jokes themselves, but because millions of people projected their distrust of Hollywood onto that stage. One room, one microphone, one comedian. And suddenly, the illusion felt fragile. The audience at home no longer saw untouchable celebrities. They saw nervous people trying to maintain control while the public stopped believing the performance. That's why the speeches still trend. That's why the clips still spread. That's why audiences still analyze every reaction frame by frame. Because for one brief moment, Hollywood looked uncomfortable being watched. And the internet never forgot it. What do you think? Was Ricky Gervais simply doing his job as a comedian? Or did those Golden Globe speeches expose how uncomfortable Hollywood becomes when somebody publicly challenges celebrity culture? Comment below. And if you want more deep dives into entertainment controversies, viral Hollywood moments, and the stories the internet still can't stop discussing, subscribe and turn notifications on. Because the next story gets even crazier.